What's up, y'all? I fight with FLOWTOX. Out here running on the north side of Chicago. Got some guys smoking weed. It smells good. Anyways, I think it's the coldest day of the year so far. Quite possibly the coldest day since the solstice. Winter solstice, that is. It's like 27 degrees or something. A little snowy. You might see some flakes catch up in my long ass eyebrow hairs. Or in my long ass beard. I really don't know how to trim my beard or keep it nice looking. I'm just sort of growing it, cutting, shaving down here on my neck. Trim my mustache over my lip, but that's about it. Anyone with any tips on beard maintenance, tips are welcomed. Thinking a lot about ambiguity and how humans deal with ambiguity and how we're sort of controlled by our fear of ambiguity. And how it can be very difficult for many humans, many cultures, humanity as a whole possibly, to accept things that are ambiguous. And you know what I mean? Things that are ambiguous, I mean things that are hypocritical, things that are sort of conflicting, but seemingly whole. I guess I should say whole things that are seemingly internally conflicted. Because I do sort of, so I was talking about in a previous episode, I do think that bipolarism is sort of a sad pathology in which creates a sense of normalcy for not being conflicted. I mean, there are many biological markers for bipolarism and chemical reactions that do help to define bipolarism, but to think that some people are a monolith is a falsity. To think that people are totems or islands and singular is a falsity. Inherently, we are a part of the multitudes. We are born into civilization. We are born into humanity and taught by it. But also, we are multiple within our own selves. We are multipolar. Not only bipolar, but multipolar. We are hypocritical, and we don't really recognize it. I think a prominent point of this is a lot of the alt-right seeing the demonstration at the Capitol, seeing the insurgency at the Capitol from Trump voters. I think many more conservative Trump voters looked at that and don't see themselves in what they saw happening at the Capitol. But unfortunately, whether you can see it or not, Trump voters, every single person who voted for Trump in 2016 and who voted for Trump in 2020, this is what their vote caused. This is truly a true representation of what their vote means. And this represents a sense of multipolarity within the individual of a Trump voter. A Trump voter is complex, and it might be safe to say that many Trump voters have not stopped to truly look at themselves and truly look at what they believe, because they're not even able to recognize it on the screen when it's shown to them by every news outlet in the world. Truly, many right-wing, alt-right, red-pilled fucks watched CNN the day, January 6th, and said, those aren't Trump voters, those are Antifa. Those are CIA crisis actors. And hey, I understand the need to think about that this might not be us, but you know, I face this as a progressive person in looking at Black Bloc and Antifa activities and how much I supported that. And it's complex, it's multipolar, and for the Trump voter to not see themselves on the screen on January 6th and have a realization of, oh fuck, what did I do? And to think, no, that's not me, that's not us, I have no part of that. That's not what I was doing. That's the problem. We all have a bit of self-reflection to do to be able to recognize our dark side, to be able to sit next to our shadow, turn to it, and ask for its opinion, and to actually listen to its opinion and confront it. Because it's there. And many of us, I possibly argue, is that we can't recognize it. Many of us haven't gone through the work to recognize what it looks like. And again, the example I use of the alt-right Trump voters not recognizing what their vote caused on January 6th and what their president caused on January 6th. Not recognizing they're part of that is part of the problem. And to realize that we need to accept each individually, every single person. We need to be humble or express humility in face of the unknown. Because you know what? Every night we could look up into the sky above us and realize we don't fucking know what the fucking point is. And we could possibly even just look right deep into our screens and realize we don't even know what the fuck the point of all this is either. So in order to assuage such fears of the black hole depths of infinite vacancy, we need to accept that we stand on the liminal edge of that vacancy and we occupy a space, a surface in which is filled and covered in light and exposed. And it's our teetering on the liminal aspect between nothingness and somethingness that the contrast of our own being comes about. We are the makeup of the hollowness of the cosmos, combined with the enigmatic willpower, energy of the light's God force or whatever. It's the light and the dark, and it's the both of it that makes it. Both of them makes it, and it consists of both of them. But then you divide it further into infinity, and everything composes it, and it is composed of everything. But neither is separate from the other. We are the other as much as we are the subject and the object. The subject, when it comes to just basic English syntax, the subject acts, the subjective point of view acts. To build a sentence, you need a subject, the thing that wills something other upon the object. It asserts its will upon the object. So the subject acts and the object is acted upon. And we can never be both subject, or we can never be strictly just the subject or strictly the object. We have to be both. We are objects in other people's space, and we are the subjects of our own space. And that's the humility that is needed to know that we're not the only one. And that subjectivity and reality itself is multipolar. The subjective viewpoints in this universe are as infinite as it. So we need to face the fact that we've already stepped halfway into the unknown. And we need to realize that we've never not been a part of it. We've always been a part of the unknown. And that's the fault of Homo sapiens sapiens, is in which it is the one who thinks of itself. And we create that subjective view, but we're cursed by it. We need to realize our objectness as well, and realize that we don't know, and that we are part of the unknown, and to allow that to be a part of us. It already is. It's in the right brain, my friends. It's in the right brain. The left brain claims subjectivity, but the right brain is the objective, metaphorical consciousness in which does represent ourselves in ways that might seem truly baffling to us. Anyways, it's FLOWTOX. Welcome to this multipolar, hyperpolar monism, in which we are all multipolar selves. Spheres within spheres of infinite nodes, creating our own definition and the contrast between empty space and the will of light force. FLOWTOX, I Feigl.